Any other amendments on the floor?
One last one, Mr. Mayor. I need a clarification first, Mr. Manager. The current budget, as you have proposed it, increases the Youth Commission budget by $75,000. Is that accurate?
Yes, Councilman.
Okay, thank you. The motion then is to reduce that proposed increase by $60,000. And I apologize for the typo on my memo, and move that $60,000 into transportation for senior services. We have a lot of seniors requesting transportation to get to the new senior services that we're going to be rolling out at the rec center. The increase of $15,000 for the Youth Commission will be enough to fund an extra trip for the kids should they be able to even take it. The $75,000 has never been requested by the Youth Commission. It's far in excess of what they need. Their budget was completely adequate for what they were doing. And so I think that it would be just giving them an extra $15K is like saying, here, take one more trip. Giving them an extra $75K is like, I honestly don't think they could even figure out how to spend it. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Caraway.
Thank you, Mayor. And now that we've gotten beyond the other stuff, I'm glad people showed the African American community what we think about them as it relates to accessibility. I want to say that, and I want folks to understand it. So just understand what vote went down a moment ago. Now, you know, it's okay, though. It's okay. But the southern sector of this city will remember.
Point of order, Mr. Mayor.
You can point
of
all
order,
you
Mr.
want.
Mayor.
Mr. Narvaez. Point of order, Mr. Narvaez. What?
I thought we were talking about the Youth Commission.
I am talking about the Youth Commission.
Mr. Narvaez, I will, if that's a point of order, it's
yeah,
fine.
that's the point of order.
Yeah, I am talking about the Youth Commission because now you just sit around and want to cut the Youth Commission. Now you want to cut back on something that we've already promised these kids, the future of this city, just to try to show and win and play politics around here to run for mayor. Well, I'm going to tell you, whoever's running for mayor, you're going to need the southern sector. And we're going to need it to pass the bond as well. And to slap the southern sector in the face, as has happened this day, it has done it. It has done it. Well, I want folks to understand it. Because I want you to go to sleep with your brains and your heart tonight to understand that we are fighting to try to do things that are right for the folks. And for us to have voted to put money into a budget and that the law office already has on the 7th floor to community prosecutors, because that falls under Larry Castro. But because of evilness in this city that is still yet to surface, but it has surfaced today. And now we're going to talk about the Youth Commission. Sandy Grayson and I, we found the money for the Youth Commission to do greater things for this city. But you want to smother it under the auspices of the seniors. There are so many other ways we could have done it, but it sounds good. It's a great sound bite. Oh, for the seniors. As much as we've tried to do and we continue to do for the seniors. But you want to continue to smother. You wonder why K2 is out here. You look at how Mary is performing on that commission right now that we have, and she's only 17 years old. She has more intelligence on that committee than anybody sitting on that task force. But yet we want to cut it short and cut them short and laugh about it just to have a victory at this horseshoe. A selfish victory. A selfish, personal victory. And it pisses me off.
Mr. Caraway.
I want you to understand that it pisses me off.
Mr. Caraway, I'm not going to let you.
All right, I won't be that no more. But you understand how mad I can get about it. So, you know what? Y'all that's safe and want to vote like that, keep on voting like that. God got our back. That's who has our back against every single attitude and self-agenda that's going on here. So y'all let the kids suffer. And then you wonder why they go into school in Plano and everywhere else and not in Dallas. Because we're showing them today that we don't give a hoot about them. They just a kid. $15,000 is enough. That's like a kid going into the candy store and want some, but you say, well, you can't have these kind of potato chips. You got to get these right here on sale. If we're going to half do something, then half do it. But it's not going to be half done with me. I will stand up all the way, and I will be public, and I won't care what anybody says. The right thing is the right thing to do. And the selfish thing to do is to try to have these ridiculous agendas of control. That's why things are happening as they happen over like they are, because the very thing that we took down was because of control. Because we're tired of being controlled. We do everything for District 14. And Mr. City Manager, I want, and Ms. Secretary and Ms. Everybody, every item that comes up for District 14, henceforth, I want it pulled, Ms. Secretary. I'm pulling it publicly right now for individual discussion. Because every single week, we have 30 items on District 14. And we just pass them just because they're downtown. Well, that's not going to happen anymore. It's not going to happen. Two can play this game. And we can start looking at things more closely that are being spent, that you all are talking about, that maybe might not be just what it ought to be. Minority contracting, everything is being built downtown in District 14, but we don't stop it.
Stand the subject.
I'm just letting y'all know I'm mad as I can ever be. I'm mad, but I tell you what, it's going to be all right, because I'm going to still vote for the right things to vote for the city of Dallas. Let me just say that. In all of our districts. But if y'all want to play titsy-tat, and then I can play it too. I know how to play cards. I know how to play cards.
Mr. Caraway.
And I can play them right. And I would not be speaking up for my community if I just continue to sit here and let y'all do everything. We do everything in Bishop Arts. We do everything in Deep Elm. We do everything in West End. We do everything out in the north. We build $2 million dog parks with showers out in the north on Preston. And then when it comes down to our kids and servicing our constituents, we got to be budget conscious. You can play it any way you want to play it. Let's play the game.
Thank you.